Hey guys, it's part 2 of our maple syrup making. This video will be the process of cooking the sap down and bottling it up into our beautiful bottles. Some of our supplies we will be using today. We have a heavy duty filter and a couple regular filters with our dowel, some bottles to bottle it up, some seals for shrink wrapping, more bottles. I have my binder with my notes from last year. We have our testing kit, some ladles, our hydrometer to test the sugar content. So, okay guys, this is the last day for maple syrup baking here at our house. So this is day 4. We have all of the 65 gallons that we tapped in one pot. Took us 4 days, constant boiling. Our setup really isn't that great. Hopefully next year it'll be better. We have a very long cylinder pot where you need a long flat pot so there's better evaporation surface. But this is the last day. We have it in one pot now. It's a nice dark color. So we have just a few more hours left of boiling, but we have strained this, or filtered it, I should say, 2 times now, and I'm gonna give it another filter right now, and then we will filter it again before putting it into the bottles. So I didn't show you the other 2 times of filtering. That was last night. It was late when we brought it in for this stage. We did set it in the fridge all night last night, so it hasn't cooked all night, but the other 3 nights we cooked all night long. So we're tired, ready for this to be over, but we've also got more sap now to boil down. We're gonna be doing another batch of it. But so I thought I would bring you along for this next straining just to show you. So I have my filter. I bought this on Amazon with a dowel, just hanging over a pot. And this is the sap here. I'm gonna go ahead and just filter it through this. We will use this as our final filter too. So we do have 2 other filters that we'll put through because we want a really good filter. Otherwise, that sugar content, which is called niter, will build up and it will not look great in your bottles. Once you filter everything really, really good, you won't have that niter. So that's why we're doing so many different filters. So I am just gonna take a cooker and I'm gonna pour it through this very carefully because it is very hot. And I'll show you what it looks like in the filter once I get some of this in there, because you can really see it doesn't look like it would have much, but when you take the filter out, you're like, wow, it did really need to be filtered. So I'm gonna turn my burner on too, because I don't want it to cool down, but I wanted some in the pot first. There we go. Okay, I want to show you the inside of the pot because when you're cooking it, you're going to have a lot of residue that's going to line your pots. And you don't want to leave that on there because that will burn and it might change the flavor of your syrup. So you want to make sure that you're continually keeping that off. But just to show you what it looks like. Do you see that? So this is what I'm talking about. It's just the sticky sugars that collect along the edge of the pot. You don't want to leave that there. And then this is our filter. So you can see that it's dark in there. That is what you want to get out of your syrup. So you have the prettiest looking syrup in your bottle. It would still taste good, but it would not look very good in the bottles. So that's it. All right, so we did that straining. It's so pretty. Look at the color. Isn't that pretty? So we're very happy. The flavor's good. It's nice and sweet. The color is good. We've strained it now 4 times, and just gonna let it cook down a little more. As the sap cooks down, more and more of those impurities that are in the tree sap will rise to the top and kind of form like a scum or a foam on the top. You don't have to, but I've always just taken a little sieve and just got as much of it off the top as I can. This prevents that ring around the inside of the pot, and it makes me feel better about it. I just like getting it off. I feel like it's less work at the end than when you're doing your final strain. You don't have as much residue left. Okay, this is getting close. We have the syrup in there. We have a candy thermometer. I have the lids to my jars that I'm going to be using. They are nice and hot in here, so we get a better seal. We have all of our things to test the sugar content, and then I have my jars in the dishwasher. They are nice and hot and ready to pull out to fill. Okay, we're getting down to the wire, and you can see that scum along the sides. That is the niter that's forming. So once it gets to this stage, it starts to form those sugar crystals or the niter. That's why you need to do such a good strain at the very end before bottling. While the syrup is boiling, we have our candy thermometer in just to monitor the temperature. This just gives us an idea of where we're at in the process. We do not rely solely on that candy thermometer, but we want that temperature to reach 219. At that point, we know that the sugar content is probably where we need it to be, but then we will do another test using the hydrometer to test the actual sugar content. You can see here that the hydrometer is not floating, so it is not ready. It's so close. Wait, don't move. I want to show. So the red line is where we need to be. It is at 59. We are almost there. Pretty close. I will link the brand of hydrometer that we used for testing here. We really like it. It is a very good hydrometer. It is all glass, so you do want to make sure when you're dropping it down into that cylinder test tube, do not just let go of it. Ease it down in, or you will shatter the bottom of that hydrometer if it's not to a consistency where it's going to float. You don't want that to hit the bottom. Here's a picture of the instructions that actually come with this hydrometer. It's very easy to read, easy to use. I was very impressed with the quality of the hydrometer from this Brewing America company. Okay. Cool. call that good then.
So right now we're letting it cool down to about 190 degrees for our final filter and bottling.
That is the point where the niter stops forming. So the 190 is the ideal temperature. Then we're gonna strain it and I'm gonna bottle it as he strains it, so.
Pour it into the bottles and it's closer to 200 or more, it'll just form more niter as it's in the bottle.
And that happened our very first year. We did not cool it like this, and at the bottom, which it's still, you can still totally use it, it wasn't as pretty as last year's. Last year's we let it cool to the 190, did the last filter, and it was beautiful. So we're hoping this year it works as well.
We're watching the Hanks on TV. They're a camping RV station we like on YouTube. I'm gonna turn it off. Because I can see it on the camera. Thanks, Hanks.
Right.
I can feel
Oh yes.
an inch of sand on the bottom.
We could last year too.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely there. Still around 200.
Okay.
So an electronic cooking thermometer would be awesome. Especially the one where you just put the wire in.
That will be a purchase for next year.
Just a little bit under 200.
Okay. So we actually have 4 filters here. We have the heavy duty one on the very bottom through the dowel rods. Then we have 2 more that are about the same shape as this one. Then we have a filter that actually came with our fish fryer. And we're just gonna sit that in there as an extra one. So that would be 4. So as we pour this in and the niter builds up on each filter, we're just gonna take it out, put it on the plate and keep pouring so that we don't have to go into the sink, rinse it out and try to put it back in. That just wouldn't work. So this is the easiest way to do it.
Let's see, that's good.
Okay, here we go.
Here goes nothing.
Nice and slow. Yeah, do you have 2 pot holders? Yeah. Like I said, we have several filters in this dowel rod so that we can just, as it collects the niter and the sugar crystals, we can just pull it out, stick it on the plate and continue going so we don't have to stop. The pan with the bottles in it has hot water to keep the bottles nice and hot. And then the little cooker there has the lids that came with the bottles. Those have a plastic seal, so I get those nice and hot, put those on the bottles as I bottle up the hot syrup in there, and then I kind of tilt it so that hot sap reaches up to the top of that little styrofoamy plastic seal that pops down. And as your syrup cools, it's going to suck that seal down so that you have a nice seal on the syrup and it has a better chance of having a better shelf life. Although here at our house, the syrup that we make usually lasts for about a year. We use this to sweeten everything. I put it in my sourdough recipes. I put it in my coffee, obviously over French toast and pancakes. But we just use this as a sweetener in addition to our raw honey that we get from some friends of ours that have some local beehives. It is a lot of work. We do enjoy doing this. We love preserving and canning and being more self-sufficient. I can't say that this is free. The sap itself is free, but we, make all of these other purchases, but to us, it's worth it. We like having and knowing what's in our products that we have on our pantry shelf. All right, guys, well, we are done with round 1 of maple syrup making. It was a lot of work, but it was fun, and we got 10 beautiful 8-ounce bottles, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and a half, probably 11. This one we put in the fridge for us to taste and sample. It's different flavor from last year, but I feel like each year it's a little bit different in color, a little bit different in flavor, but we really like it, so I'm excited to have this. I love using it obviously on French toast and pancakes, in my coffee, on my oatmeal, just everything. And it's so much easier than using sugars or things that you don't really want to be using for sweeteners. Use some maple syrup. So, because you know where this came from, there's nothing in this, which just blew my mind the first time we did it. There's absolutely nothing but the sap from the maple trees. So how cool is that? So I'm wiping all of the bottles down. We don't sell these. We just like to have them for family and friends. We like sharing things. So we will be sharing some of this goodness with our family and friends. And I am getting ready to place a little seal on the top. I don't really know if it does a lot as far as preserving and keeping, the air out, but it can't hurt. So, and it looks pretty too. But all I do, so I ordered these bottles on Amazon. Well, let's back up a little bit. Ordered them on Amazon. They come with the bottle, the cap. The cap on the inside has a little styrofoam seal. That's what actually gets sucked down as the syrup cools and forms a seal on the top of the jar. And then these little seals come with it too. And it's really cool. All you do is you pop these on and you heat them up with your blow dryer. That's why I have my Conair blow dryer here. So I'm going to show you how I do that. And we ordered some different types of bottles this year, which I wasn't really crazy about them, but they had these really pretty gold ones too. So I may use some of these on some of them. I may not. It just depends. But so you put the top on and you push it all the way down as far as you can get it. And it has a little tab here that you would pull just to, when you're ready to open it. Take your blow dryer. Here, let me bring you a little closer. Okay, that's a little better. So I have my jar here with the little seal that I put on the top. And I'm just gonna use my blow dryer. It's on hot with heat. And you can see it start to suck to the sides and conform to the jar. They're blowing off my table. There you have it. Isn't that pretty? So it looks cute. If we ever do decide to start selling it, I'll have some labels made, but I just love these jars. They have little seals or stickers that you can put on the bottom too, and they're black, and then I just write the date that I made these and put them on the shelf and they're ready, or pass them out, give them to friends and family. Everybody loves getting these, so. And here is Zaylee, our new member of the family. Let me bring you over here so you can see her because she's just cute as a button. Say hi, Zaylee. This is the new grand dog. She's so shy and timid, but she's a good girl, huh? You're a good girl. All right, guys.
Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you enjoyed watching us make the maple syrup, and hopefully you learned something. So see you in the next video.
Thanks for hanging out with us as we bottled up our beautiful maple syrup for the year 2023. And if you liked our video, remember to give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel, Becoming Homesteaders, and look for some garden video. It's March and it is garden season, so those will be coming up soon.